So I'm going with different different format today, right? Okay, so let me therefore start with the presentation. Right. So today what we are going to start the financial client management with respect to respect to HR. We are going to start the HR, and that's the final area we are going to cover. Can you hear me? Hello, you can hear me, no?
Can hear, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay. So we'll start HR. Right now, what is human resource management? Now, the human resource management, you all are well aware, and it is the people dimension in management, right? People dimension in management. So, why human resource become the most unique resources, and why it's become more unique, right? When you're compared with other resources available, the human resource is unique. One of the important factor about the human resource is the it's very difficult to understand the behavior. They are very complex, right? So therefore, human resource pair has a paramount importance of the successful in any organization. Why? Because not like physical, technical, or economic failure, but understanding the human play an important, very difficult task. Therefore, it's become an important task. Right. First, let me try to define what is HRM, human resource management. Now, human resource management, like any other type of management, it is the efficient and effective utilizations of human resources to achieve the organization goals and objectives. Right? So the human resources management, it is an efficient, effective utilizations of human resources in order to achieve your organizational goals. Now, since if a definition comes like that, for this is for your further explanation, what do you mean by an organization? Right? Organization, we usually call them as it is an economic and social entity. If you want, you can just write down under organization. Now, organization is basically a economic and social entity, and there are group of people who interact each other for the achievement of common goal. Right? Now, what do you mean by an organization? So if somebody asks you what is meant by an organization, organization is basically an economic and social entity composed of a group of people, right? More than two people, right? Who interact each other for achieving or purpose of achieving a common goal. That is why organizations are existing. More than two people work together, achieve a common goal. That is organization, right? So what are the organizations going to achieve? Goals, right? Organizations is going to achieve goals. Now, what is goal mean? Refer to the desired targets to be achieved in the future. Right? It may be, it may be the achieving the market share or whatever, right? So goal is refers to the desired target to be achieved in the future. That is the goal. And then what is human resource? Right? And I told you human resource. Right? Now, what are we using to achieve goals by an organization? Human resource. Now, human resource, as you well aware, have a specific feature. There are some unique features of human resource. What are these unique features? Unique features are only resource can feel, think, and make decisions. All other resources are dead resources. Only live resource is what? Human resources. And they can take decisions about other resources. Right? Now, usually can bargain and decide his price. Human can decide their price. If you go for a job, so you may ask for certain salary. Right? You can bargain or you can increase or reduce your price. And usually, as you well aware, all other resources are depreciated with time, no? But human resources is not like that. Usually the human resources, at least a certain time period, appreciate with the time. So that is why in your HR, ask for the jobs, who ask for the 5 years experience, 10 years experience. And I want to tell you something, but I can't tell you over the virtual line also. That is why sometimes young girls are married to old person. You may see, no. Then if I ask from a girl, why you married that old boy, old person? You are just young. Husband is around 45, and she can say, so my resource is appreciate with the passage of time. Right? The value is appreciating. That is why I marry her. Somebody can tell. But all other resources are depreciating. Right? And also remember, true productivity can be improved by training and motivation. Right? Only creative resource who can think and make decision regarding other resources. Final one, behavior is very complex and difficult to understand. Now, that is why human resource as a significant resource. Why human resource is significant? Now, sometimes the examiner never asks, but if he asks you, what are the specific features of human resource? Or sometimes the examiner can ask you, what are the unique features of human resource? Or sometimes the examiner can ask from you, what are the, why you feel it, a human resource is most significant resource when you are compared with other resources. Right? These are the points. At least you can say, only living resource, they can feel, think, and make decisions about the other resources. Right? And they can organize themselves to safeguard their rights, unionize and all. Value appreciate with the passage of time. And their productivity can be improved through training and motivation. And only creative resource, right? And of course, very difficult to understand their behavior, and it's a very complex process. So therefore, that sort of a resources organization need to use to achieve their organizational goals, right? How they are going to use this one? Efficient and effective manner. So you need to use your human resources in effective and efficient manner, right? For you to understanding, I'll give you a simple definitions of what do you mean by efficient and effective. Take me as an example. Right now, in entire this month, most probably maybe 2 to 3 weeks time from now, I am going to cover your human resource sections, which comes under the financial clients management. Suppose I am going to finish this entire 3-day or 3-week session today itself. What do you think? I am more efficient or effective? Shawan, what do you think? I am
Efficient.
efficient or effective? Huh? Efficient or efficient? Good. Right. But if I kind to try to cover entire HR in today itself, whether I'm effective or not. Efficient, yes. Because I'm going to cover entire thing within this period. But I am effective or not? Huh? You don't know. Why? So you don't know whether you understood or not anything, because if you're going to cover the entire thing, I am not going to explain everything. I just put the slides and we go. So therefore, remember so it's not be effective. So therefore, we must use the resources and efficient and effective manner. So therefore, what do you mean by effectiveness and effective and efficient? So the efficient mean optimum use of employees, minimizing wastage, right? And to achieve my objectives, right? So that basically effective mean reducing the wastage. Efficient, optimum use of employees by eradicating or minimizing wastage, right? So you need to use human resources, right, very efficiently mean optimum use of employees, right? Then what do you mean by effective? Effective mean focusing achievement of the job. So that means use of human resources for organizational effectiveness mean which is the extent at which goals of the organization will be going to achieve, right? So goals we are going to achieve, that means you are using, if the goals achieved, we are using human resource effectively. Okay, so sometimes you must have a balance between efficiency and effective. Say you are efficient, so you may not in a position to achieve your goals. Why? You are not have enough resources to achieve your goals. Once, okay, you are very effective, sometimes you are not efficient. Why? So you are using high amount of resources to achieve your goals. So therefore, you must have a balance. That is why we call efficient and effective. Okay, so then what is the definition? Human resource management is the efficient and effective utilizations of human resource to achieve the organization goals. Right, I'll just elaborate on human resource management. Right now, if even though for only for this, when you have any definition, you must have to know the critical or important or significant word mentioned there. Now here, what are the important areas? Human resource, right? What is another one? Organization, goals, efficiency and effectiveness. Those are the key words. How you are using, now forget about this definition. What is human resource management mean? How you are using your human resources in an organization, right? Efficiently and effectively. What purpose? Goals, achievement of goal. Why organization? Organization is there. Otherwise, the individual can't do. There are 2 or 3 people work together. Only you can achieve goal. For that, we are using human resources efficiently and effectively. Okay, I think you understood that part. Okay, now let's look at it. Some generic purposes of HRM or basic goal. Why we need to have HRM, human resource management? Important thing is we are trying to get the maximum contribution from human resource management to achieve our goals and objectives. That is our basic goal of having HRM, right? Give maximum contribution to the achievements of organizations goal. Because another important thing, human resource is costly element. Now take your bank, huge cost. What is the highest cost in your bank? Right? What is your highest cost in your bank? Okay, tell me.
Salary
What is
payment.
the huh?
Salary payment.
Before that, what is the highest cost to your bank? First one, what is the highest cost? Now you do all the things based on that. You collect what? Deposits. Now from that deposit only you do all the other things too. Right? Now in return, what you need to give for depositors?
Interest.
Interest. So there, remember the bank highest cost is interest cost. Right? What is the next cost? The next cost is the human resource cost. Right? It's a huge cost. The first cost, of course, the interest cost, because whatever you take it, you have to pay as an interest. No? That is the main cost. Then the HR cost. Right. So therefore, so your broad goal to get the maximum from human resources. For what purposes? To achieve your goals and objectives. Now, what is your strategic goals? Now, don't get confused, right? Basic mean a more general goal. But a strategic mean upaya margalis. Very specific. What are the things? What are the strategic goals of HRM? Strategic goals of an HRM, we call them as increase employee productivity. Right? Try to get the employee input, output ratio, productivity ratio, right? Improve. Then increase QWA. What do you mean by QWA? Right? QWA mean you want to bring quality work life. Right? We always try to get their views, ideas, suggestions, and opinions to improve your businesses. To do that, you must have a quality work life. Right? So then only they create or provide opportunity for bring ideas and opinions. And also, another important strategic goals of a human resource management, employee development. What is that? What is employee development? Right? Employee development means, so remember, so you need to develop your employees. So to develop your personal, to support, to achieve your personal objective. So every person, employee is having his personal objective. I want to become one day branch manager. I want to become an AGM or DGM or GM or whoever. That is your personal objective. So therefore, human resource management facilitate him to achieve his personal objective. For that, organizations need to develop him, need to develop the employee. How? How you can develop the employee? By providing or improving the competency. What is competency? Improve his skill, improve his knowledge, right? And improve his attitudes. Those are we call competency. Everything we need to develop him. You must have a career development programs in your bank. That is why once you stayed at the banking assistant, after some years with the exam or whatever, you were promoted to the next junior level and then to executive level, then the senior executive level. So through that, you need to develop. Other strategic goal of HRM is to legal compliance. Now, you know there's a various laws. Now, what are the laws we are going to touch a little later on, end of this session? Shop and Office Employee Act, right? Industrial Dispute Act, Wage Board Ordinance, Trade Union Ordinance. So there, of course, you have to meet certain legal compliances, right? So minimum salary, right? OT facilities, leaves, all you need, any organization comes at a certain employment act will need to provide. So HRM also may look at it while trying to get the maximum from them, as well as to try to compliance the legal requirement. So therefore, human resource management strategic goals are improve productivity, increase quality work life, employee development, and certify the legal compliances, right? So those are we call strategic goal of a HRM, right? Okay, next. So what are the objectives? Now, something you need to know. Now the goals are broader terms, right? Objectives are very specific. It should be like you and me. What? What do you mean by me and you? Huh? So not me, but maybe you. Why? Objectives are always like you. I don't want to say like me. What is objective is always? What are the main characteristic of an objective? Come on, you know, it's like me and you. Rather than forget me, you at least. Objectives like you, because objectives have certain characteristics. What are those characteristics? How you use an acronym for that? You know what I mean? Come on. Objectives are always
Smart.
smart. That is I told you it's like you, not me, right? Okay, smart. What is smart stand for? Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time bound. Right? Specific. Now we say, I'm going to increase my business. It is not a specific objective. Right? I'm going to improve my market share. Yeah, it's a very specific. And it should be measurable. Why? Yeah, market share can be measured. Say, I'm going to improve my market share by 25% next year. Can you do that? Within 1 year, can you improve your bank market share by 25%? It's very difficult. So therefore, it's not achievable. If you say, okay, I'm going to improve my market share from today's percent of 0.5% or 1%, yes, there's a possibility. So therefore, it is achievable. It should be linked to what you are doing. And also it is time bound. Someone is telling, I'm going to marry you definitely. What is? It is specific statement or not? I'm going to marry you.
No.
It is a yes or no?
No,
Why
no.
Why no?
There's no time limit.
Yeah, there are, don't get caught, right? Somebody will tell like that, don't get caught, because it's not a specific. Then you need to ask, what? When are you going to marry me? Right? So all fulfills the your requirement, but except what? So therefore, it's not a good smart objective, right? Or therefore, characteristics and objective is a smart. So like HRM also, objective means HRM short term, attract suitably qualified people, right? To retain most appropriate employees, motivate them, and also to control the cost. I told you high cost employees, ensure employee commitment. So these are some of the common objectives of human resource management. Now we learn what are the basic goals, we learn what are the strategic goals, and we learn about the what you call the now the objectives, right? It's a more broader thing. What are the objective of human resource management for any bank or any organization? Attract suitable people, keep them with you, motivate them to, and also while motivating, you need to control them. I mean, the control them is not them, control the cost, employee cost, as well as get the maximum out of that take the commitment from them. So these are some of the objective of human resource management. So these are some of the things you need to remember, right? Okay. Now I'm in these 3 weeks or 4 weeks. Remember, no any subject in banking talk about human resource management. Right? I want to tell you very precisely, no any subject, even in the IABF or DBF, no talk about HRM. So only financial science management only talk about the human resource management. So therefore, remember, so these 4 weeks, I am conducting a what? Short human resource management course. So once I complete this, you know, not in great detail, right? You know what your human resource department is doing, what their functions, what they're supposed to do. You get an idea about human resource management. Right? Are there any students in the human resource department who follow in my subject? In all? Are there any students? Come on, hurry up. Are there any students following human resource working in the human resource department in the bank? Sitara? No. Then Kaling, I don't think, no. Then anybody? Nobody in HR. You don't want to go to the HR. Please tell me, is anybody is working now out of 23 or 20s or whoever participating today? Is any student working at bank's HR department? Come on, mate. No? Are you sure? Let the Siravatama? Nobody. Sure, no? Right, come on. Okay, so that's better than in that case, right? So you are trying to learn what is all these HR guys are doing, right? Okay, so you need to know what are these HR guys are doing. Okay. Right, now let me now explain to you, right, some of the things. Right. Now this question came in year 2000, I can't remember, 2018 or 17. Now, you know, earlier we don't have a human resource department. Bank or any other institution, we call them as personnel department. Sometimes still some banks are having personnel manager and all. But those days, there is a personnel department. Now we won't say personnel department. If you say personnel, that means there is no value. Now we discussed a little while ago, human resource is a type of resource, most valuable resources, difficult to manage, right? One organization can be differentiate with another organization, depend on the number of the employees. So therefore, role of personnel have changed to human resource management. Now let's look at it. What are the differences? Right? Now personnel means the traditional approach to managing the human resources. But the modern approach to managing human resource is called human resource management. One difference. Right? I can remember one question asked, what is the difference between personnel management and HRM department management? So the traditional way of approaching or managing human resource is a personnel management, whereas modern approach to managing human resource is a human resource management, right? So what do you mean by a traditional approach, right? So they concern on routine operational matters. They're not look at it how you can make use of employees as a strategic manner. Example, recruitment, filling the vacancy, that's their job. Provide increment, you know, the normal activities done by personnel department. That is the normal day-to-day activity. But there, HRM, we never considered them as only operational. While recruiting the people, you need to look at it how you can use those human resources in a strategical manner. How we are going to fulfill future needs of the organization. How can give them train them? How can you develop them? Right? So, because they have identified resource is costly. So therefore, you need to manage and get the maximum. Right. Second, personal management, they always look employees seen as a cost. It's a cost. I employee can salary. Right? Padi ගෙවන්න ඕනේ, නිවාඩු වලට සල්ලි ගෙවනවා, medical ගෙවනවා, සාමනාල. They're all cost. But human resource considered employees as an assets. Right is an assets. Cost and assets. And also remember, in the personal department, so usually in the earlier HRM, or in the personal duration, so era, so decision making is very slow. But in the human resource management, you need to take quick decision. So it make it decision is fast, because we are living in highly changing environment. Environment is keep on changing. So therefore, we need to take quick decision. So in HRM, decision making is fast, whereas the personal, so decision making is slow. Right? As pay is based on job evaluation. Pay is based on job evaluation. Right? So, but in HRM today, how we are going to pay your payments or salary based on performances. So we are going to discuss on two methods, right? Okay, this is some of the differences.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
So in our organization, some are called as personal division and or HR division. Both names are.
Yeah, I know sometimes that is what I told, now some organization, they said personal manager, right? And when you go for the divisions, we call HR division, right? So they're still using, of course, you need to change, right? Now I know some banks are having personal manager 1, 2 like that, but I think some of the banks have changed, but sometimes they still use personal, right? So it's a matter of administrative issue. So they need to take some quality decision, right? But today people are talking about human resources, right? Personal is earlier is more on a sort of a welfare and administrative, right? So today's context, yeah, even though I know certain banks are using, but remember, it has to be ideal to change from personal to HR, right? Okay, clear. I don't know. The best thing is HRM in the modern HRM. When you're learning HRM, now we are moving from personal to human resource management, right? These are some of the differences, right? And another important things I just want to tell you, line managers. Now, who are line managers? Can anybody tell me line manager? Right, line manager, now say for an organization, in the HR department, who is the line manager? Human resource manager. In the marketing department, who is the line manager? Marketing manager. Right, for example, right? Take finance. Who is the manager? Who is the line manager? Finance manager. Likewise, any divisions, head of that person we call a line manager. People are using different names, but technical name is line manager. Right? Now, so in the personnel era, they look at it line manager as a transactional manager. So to do only day-to-day activities. Right? Okay, so day-to-day activities. But today in HRM, we look at it, a line manager as a transformational manager of transformational leadership. Here we talk about transactional leadership, but here HRM we talk about transformational leadership. Now what is that? Transformational leadership. That means, so not only do you look at only one aspect, you need to look at it, the entire things. You're supposed to build up your team, total employee. You know everything. So that is what you call transformational, right? So these are some of the differences from a role of a personnel and the role of HR, right? Okay, so this question came, I can't remember one which year. They asking recently the role of a personnel was changing to the HRM. So what are the differences you will noted will changing from personnel to human resource management, right? So then that's the answer. Okay, then what are the HRM focuses? Right? HRM need to focus. It is job to well-being of the employees. So HRM job is to look after their your employees. Right? While also you need to look after their organizations as well as well-being of the society. So you need to create people, you need to develop people who may contribute to the organization as well as you must contribute to the society. Right? You must say, this is mistakes is from X bank. Right? So society will understand, oh, he's a good person, he will contribute to the society. He's not damaging the society. Something like that. So human resource management focuses on three main areas: well-being of the employees, well-being of the organization, and well-being of the society. Like marketing, right? Can you remember we learned marketing? Right. Look after clients, look after environment, and look after your own organization. HR also, something like that. Okay? Right. Any question to that? Right. Now let's look at it. What are the importance of HRM? Right? Importance of HRM, as we will talk about earlier. Right. So only resources making things possible is HR. That is making things happens. Because why? Only human resources can take decisions, and only living thing and creative thing. Right? So other resources making things possible. Suppose if you have money, yes, possible. But somebody need to make use of that money. Right? So you know the importance. Then most important resource to achieve the organization objectives. That is the resource. And also remember, human resource management affects quality of other functions. How can we do that? Say we learn consumer protection. There, of course, we discuss what? Can you remember the concept which is relating to the HRM? Can anybody tell me? In last week or so, we discussed some area about customer protection, where we discuss something which is linked to HRM. Can anybody recall that concept? Right? If you are not selected the quality right people to the organization, what they try to do? They may try to cheat the customer. Remember how you call that concept? Financial what selling?
Mis-selling.
Mis-selling. Can you remember we said reason for mis-selling? Right? If you are not recruited the quality people, or they may be so that is why when you are going for a bank, they look at it, you are certain credentials. From which bank, which school, and all, they look at it. Why? Because you are going for a fiduciary relationship business. විශ්වාසය මත ගොඩනැගූ ව්‍යාපාරයකට යන්නේ. මුදල් එක්ක ගණදෙනු කරන්නේ. ඉතින් මුදල් දැක්ක ගමන් සමහර වෙලාවට මිලියන් 3 දක්වම හිතෙන්න පුළුවන් මට හොරකම් කරන්න. නේද? Right? Okay? ඒ සමහර මිනිස්සු නෝ. So therefore, if you take the quality people, so it will improve the quality of other functions. Right. So then, as we discussed, HR is difficult to manage due to many reasons which I explained to you earlier. Right. Okay, these are some of the importance, and it facilitates again the social needs and wants of the environment. Right. Okay. Now, what are the functions of HRM? What are the activities carried out by human resource management? Now you recall your HR department, right? What they are doing? Job design. I will explain all these things later on, right, in detail. Job analysis. Some of the areas you may learn or you may heard. Manpower planning or human resource planning. Recruitment, hiring, induction, training and development, performance evaluation, reward management or compensation, employee movement, transfers, transfer, right, discipline, administration, take actions against you, grievances, employee health and safety management, labor relation with unions, welfare management. So there are many functions are carried out by human resource department. Right? Now what we are going to do in the next couple of days or weeks, we are trying to understand very briefly all these functions. Now you know you have a diploma in human resource management, higher diploma in human resource management. When you go to the campus, sometimes you have a degree in human resources management, right? So all are learning what? All are learning all these things. But the context and the content are different. We also talk about the psychology aspects of human resource management, right? So morning I am lecturing the psychology, organizational psychology for MBA students, right? Morning. So where I will explain to you how the psychology factors contributing to the effectively implementations or executing of these functions. Okay? Right? Therefore, it is a wide and vast area. It is a wide and vast area. But we are going to discuss very briefly, right? It's a foundation level. What are these functions? That's what I told you. We are going to discuss what? A mini HR course. Then, sometimes, now you need to understand this. Now we learn personal management. Right? We learn personal management. And we discuss No more personal management. Now we are dealing with human resource management. Yes. From this point onwards, now in the contemporary world or contemporary business environment, we further go step beyond human resource management. Now we are talking strategic human resource management. What is that? How we are using strategically human resource management to achieve our organizational corporate goals and objectives. How human resource management strategically using to achieve organization strategic goals and objectives. Right? Now, human resource, one department of an organization. So we have a marketing, we have a finance, we have operation, we have a supplies. Like that. Organization usually consists of many divisions, right? But for an entire organization, you must have only one plan. That is, we call strategic plan. Okay. Now, under human resource management, what we are trying to learn, how are you going to support strategically to achieve my organizational strategic goals? Then, right, I am changing my human resource management to strategic human resource management. What is human resource management then? And it is the process of linking human resources function with the strategic objective of the organization to improve performance. So, contributing human resource management to achieve the organizational overall strategic goals and objectives. How I am using my human resources to achieve organization objective. I have to plan all these things in such a manner. I'll give you an example, right? Okay, now let's look at it. This thing. How HRM move into the strategic human resource management. Okay, I'll give an example. Now, your strategic plan for 2022, say, open another new 10 branches. That is your strategic objective. Now, Shaka Dahaya. Now, from the human resource management point of view, how can you support that endeavor? How can you support? Now you say you need 5 people for branch, at least, for example. So 10 branches, how many people you want? 50 people. So it is your duty to find out there's 50 people ready for once branch going to open to replace it, put in them. So how are you going to do that? Okay, you're going to look at it internally. Are there any people to promoted to be appointed as managers? Or how can you transfer certain people? If people is not adequately enough in your organization, are you going to recruit people from outside? That is the HRM job. Traditional HRM, why now is moving to strategic HRM? So you need to try to fill these positions in the organizational roles. Right? So therefore, it's changing from reactive to proactive, transactional to transformational, further transformational, short term to long term or medium term. Employee relations to the partnerships. Right? Okay. Right? Now I think you have an idea about that part. Okay, clear? Up to now, you're okay. Now, remember, I want to tell you something also. HR is very interesting. It's like a mega teledrama, right? Right? It's like a mega teledrama. I keep on telling you, you are not going to learn anything from any other subjects, HR, only from trials management. Right? Once I complete this section, you have a better idea about what is human resource management. That's why I told you it is a mini HRM course. Right now, I think no, it's more than that, but I try to explain to you very nutshells, right? Okay, clear? Now, if you have any doubt, please ask from me, right? Okay. Right. Now, what I'm going to talk to you. Now, we discuss one of the important functions of human resource management is a job design. Right? What is job design? Now, bureau, right, is an organization. You may have a different people. Organization, remember? What is organization? More than one people work together to achieve a certain objective. So the job design means, so there are so many activities taking place in an organization. We must have a different jobs. Banking assistant, right? Different people to perform particular job. For that, we need to arrange. We need to design a job. Right? So every person cannot do all the jobs, no. So job design, therefore, it is the functions of arranging tasks, duties, responsibilities. Right? Okay? What are the three things? Tasks, duties, responsibilities. Now you know what do you mean by a job? Job are the basic building blocks of an organization. අපි යන්නේ ජොබ් එක ගන්න නැද්ද ඔයගොල්ලෝගේ බැංකුවේ? තියෙනවානේ. තියෙන්නේ ඉතින් grade 7 තමයි. Peer. Right? So that is a job. So likewise, there may be a different type of jobs. So how you develop these jobs? Through job design. So job design exactly tells you what are the tasks, what are the duties, what are the responsibilities you need to carry out. Right? So jobs are therefore building blocks of an organization. What is task then? Task mean a series of motional activities. Now think about teller. What is your task? Series of activities. Accept the money, accept the deposit. When the customer comes for withdrawal, give the money. Right? So various activities you carried out, various tasks. Once you complete all your tasks, we call them as a duty. Right? Now, if you have more tasks, then you say duty. එතකොට වාගේ ඩිපොසිට් සල්ලි ගන්නවා එක එක ටාස්ක් එක. කස්ටමර් කෙනෙක් ආවොත් ඒව විඩ්‍රෝ කරන්න සල්ලි දෙනවා. එහෙම නැත්නම් account එක open කරන්න ආවොත් different tasks you perform. The collection of these tasks, we call them as a duty. අර නේද මම කියනවා, right? එතකොට දැන් මේවා කරගෙන ඉන්නකොට you need to have some responsibilities, assign responsibility to do jobs. Then on the counter එකේ වාගේ job එක කර කර ඉන්නකොට task එක කර කර ඉන්නකොට වාගේ duty එක කර කර ඉන්නකොට වැඩිපුර සල්ලි යනවා. Mala. Mandanne. Can you tell like that? No, you can't. Why? So it is your responsibility to carry out your tasks and duties. So the job design talk about all these things. Now you know what is job design. Organization has to design. So sometimes they may come up with a new job. The සමහර වෙලාවට බැංකුවකට එහෙම නැත්නම් වෙනත් ආයතනයකට අලුතෙන් කෙනෙක් ගන්න ඕනේ නම් බැංකුවට සමහර වෙලාවට මොකද කරන්නේ? අපි කියනවනේ අරයව ගත්තේ මෙයා අලුත් පෝස්ට් එකක් හදලා මෙයා මොකද මොකක්ද ඒකලේ? They create a new job. So job design. Okay, now you know what is job design. What are the advantage of job design? Why we need? Because individual has given job performances. So individually jobs are collectively improve the effectiveness and efficiency to achieve the organizational targets. So if you have not done your jobs, if you have not designed your job properly, what happened? Too many works. Too much. If you have not designed your job, what happened? Low productivity, low turnover, employee turnover, right? Lot of issues. So therefore, job design in an organization need to be done in accordingly. Right. So let me look at it now. What are the job design techniques? Right? What are the job design techniques? How to design a job? Now I'll come to an important area. Right? I'm not going to touch all these things, but I'm going to touch 3 important techniques which is relevant to banks. Right? Don't worry about other things, but you need to know there are some techniques how to design a job. Okay, let me explain now. Job expansion. So process of adding more variety to your jobs. What are the objectives? You want to develop your specialization, reduce the burden. So therefore, so job to be designed in such a manner, avoiding these issues. So what are the methods available to do that? We can have 3 methods. Now let's look at it, these 3 methods. Right? What are these 3 methods? One is job enlargement. Right. We say increase the scope. Now you are the head of, now for example, you are the head of saving section. Saving section ke head. Then what the manager had a on the FT section ke head, ekko maternity leave gila, evanata asala gila. Then ekkirik na hoya. Now we call Divya. I just took the random name, right? Divya, come here, Divya. How long you are in the bank? I'll be here for, sir, 2, 3, 4 years, right? You want to promote? Yeah, of course, right? So there's an opportunity for you. What? So can you look after the FD section also? Mala. So now you have given another areas, another duty to look after. In addition to your current duties, that is, you're increasing your scope. That is what you call job enlargement. Now you're going to have a different job, another type of job. What is that? Job enlargement. Second one, job enrichment. Now, earlier, suppose you are working in the credit department. or you are working in a credit approval section. So earlier what happened? Your approval limit is only 1 million loan value. Right? Your approval limit is what? 1 million. Now your approval limit increased to 2 million. What is doing? Now increasing the depth of your job. Now you are giving more power to approve of 2 million loans facilities. Now your authority and your responsibility is increasing. You are now going to look at it a different job. So that is job enrichment. Clear? Job enrichment. Next one. Then you're going to look at it. Job rotation. Right. Then ඇති ඔයා හිටියා මේක කරා ඇති ඔයා FD එකේ හිටියා ඇති. ඔයා යන්න දැන් අනිත් section එකට. එහෙම නැත්නම් යන්න branch එකේ තියෙන international division section එකට. FD section එකට. Back office එකට. Front office එකට. Likewise, what you are doing now? Systematically shifting an employee from one particular job to another job. Right? So now you are going to learn another area. So that is job rotation. You have to do it in a very systematically way. In your bank, so job rotation is a must. It is a compulsory thing in your bank. Right? In your bank, job rotation is a compulsory. Sitara, is that correct? Tarakshi? Samar? Kalinga? Achala? What do you think? Is job rotation is a compulsory thing in your bank? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Why?
Yes, sir. It is compulsory.
Why you want to rotate? Oh,
Everyone should learn everything.
Huh? You want to learn everything. Okay. Good. That is only thing. Good. Because you want to learn so many things. That is the job rotation. That's only thing. Now, now if you do the same job over and over again, what happened? Boarding no. Ayyo epa vela hani me salli gannawa salli denawa. Right? Okay? Epa vela hani ekama de kara epa vela. So you become monotonous in your job. Right? So job rotation also therefore facilitate what? One of the fundamental principles of human resource management is what? We want to get the more work. We want to motivate them. So therefore job rotation also some sort of a motivation while you are learning other areas in the back. So one day if you want to become a manager or if you want to become an area manager or AGM or whatever, always better to know all the areas. If you can work all the areas and if you rotate, don't think since you are very young, right? So always accept, right? Then you know what is happening in the branch. Then you can easily perform your branch manager's jobs in the future. So you have become a competent guy. If you want to go up to the ladder, try to move from divisions, try to move from not only the job, from the divisions wise also. Get an idea about. Then CEO is the guy who must know everything about the organization. So therefore job rotation play an important role despite the fact of it's a compulsory in the banking. But What is the other objective of job rotation, you think? Apart from all good things. Can anybody tell me? What is the another hidden objective behind job rotation also? සමහර වෙලාවට මූව මාරු කළාම තමයි දන්නේ මොනවද? මොනවද දන්නේ? මූව කරලා තියෙන මොනවද? හොර වැඩ. Right? Because එයා ඉන්නකම් සමහර අය ඉන්නවා බැංකුවක මතක තියාගන්න හැමදාම වැඩට එනවල. බොස් එක්ක මාර ලව් කියන්නේ මේ ඒ කියන්නේ මැරීගෙන වැඩ කරනවා නම් නිවාඩුවක් ගන්න නැත්තම් බදාගෙන ඔක්කොම කරනවා නම් මතක තියාගන්න හොරා තමයි බැංකුවේ ඉන්නේ. Manager has to be careful not that buggers. ඇයි මූ එහෙම කරන්නේ? We have to relook at it. Right? So with my experience only I'm sharing, if a person who is too much working, also to be careful. ඉතින් අපි මැනේජර් ලේසින්ද අර කරන එකටම දීලා යනවා. අන්තිමට ඌ දෙනවා වැඩක් මැනේජර්වත් ගෙදර යවලා ඌත් ගෙදර යනවා. හැබැයි ඌ අර යන්නේ හොඳ ගානකුත් එක්ක. Right? So therefore remember when you are dealing with people, what are the objectives of job rotation? Right? So you can say, right, job objectives of job rotation. So therefore you can say the two main objective is obtain or exposed to different experience and development of multiple skills, multi-skills. Okay, you can write down. It is not hand it out given. Okay, exposed to different experiences and develop multi-skills. Right? Okay, that's the main objective. Expose different experience and develop multi-skills. Second, what is the second important, as I told you? To prevent abuse of the specific job. To prevent abuse of the specific job. Right? To prevent abuse of the specific job. Apart from that, job rotation can be considered as what? Can be considered as the motivational influence factor, and is a job design factor. Okay, right. Now you know what is job rotation. Right. Next, we are going to discuss about job analysis. Right? Job analysis, not the important area. Right? What is job analysis? Job analysis is a systematic investigation about the job as well as the job holder characteristics, in order to create collections of information used to perform various HR functions. Right? Okay, so that is job analysis. Investigations of job. අපි දැන් කතා කරේ job design එකෙන් හදපු job. And also find it out, in order to perform that particular job, whether the job holder has the required qualification, required experience. That investigation is what you call job analysis. Right? So therefore the job analysis is basically investigate about two things, about the job and the job holder. Right? Clear? Right. Now I'll go back to important things. Now, why we need job analysis? Because job analysis provide a lot of assistance to carry out other HR functions. For the time being, you just mention HR planning, recruitment, selection, training and development, all HR facilities, functions, right? We benefited through the job analysis, right? Okay. For the time being, you just remember this. Now, how can you do that? How you can collect now in order to analyze the job, right? You must collect information now. How the job analysis now? Remember, big organizations now. Today, as I told you, I am lecturing for these days organizational psychology. There are a lot of students who followed MBA. Is from mass holdings and big organizations. They are of course involving in HR. Then I check with them. So in your organization, are you having job analytics? They said yes. My goodness. So banks, we don't have a job analysis, right? But for those organizations, especially they are involving in low skill or semi-skilled people, a lot of apparel industry people, right? They really want to look after their employees. The number is very huge. We want to find it out whether this particular job is, what is the characteristics of this job? Are we want to do this job? The person who's doing the job is fitting to that job. Lot of things they need to do, right? But banking not much, right? Okay, so there are specific posts in HR department. Job analyst. What are you doing? So they go to employees and look at it. What is doing? Without asking anything, are we having 8-hour work? They happy back go down there. වැඩ කරන දිහා බලන් හිටියොත් එහෙම කවුරු හරි ඇවිල්ලා ඔයාට ඉතින් කේත් යනවා. වයි මොකද මේ මැනේජරයා මාදියා බලන් ඉන්නේ හැමතිස්සෙම ඇවිල්ලා. මාර කතා. But they really want to see whether you are doing the job. What type of activities you carried out per day for 8 hours? පැය 4ක් වැඩ පැය 4ක් නිකන් තෙල බෙදලා. So that is observation. You try to collect information about the job. Right? Other one is they give you a questionnaire. Right? They give you a questionnaire to fill. How many deposits you are carried out per day? Right? How many withdrawal? So you can check all these things in your systems. How many accounts you open? How many FDs you open? FD section again, FD open කරලා තියෙන්නේ දවසටම 2යි. Imagine මාර පඩිනේ බැංකුව කට්ටියට නේද? Right? So they look at it, the job. Then they decide, okay, you need to add more to existing job. And also you can have an interview with them. Tell me how many accounts you open per day. What are you doing? All sort of things. You collect information about this. Or sometimes you feel it, right? That fellow is working 8 hours. Or maybe you are in the counter. නිවාඩුවක් නෑ. වාඩි උනේ කණ්ඩක් නෑ. සල්ලි ගන්නවා, සල්ලි දානවා. Right? But you are fully occupied. But there's something wrong. Your speed is wrong. That means you are not the person fitting to that job. Or suppose you are a customer relationship officer in the branch. Right? Customer කෙනෙක් ආව රොප්පුවට තමයි ඉන්නේ. මොකද ඔයාගේ, right? And all. But you are supposed to welcome the customer and ask for what is the requirement you are expecting from a bank and all these things. That is your job. Suppose you analyze the job, you look at it, this fellow, whether he's performing, you observe. You always arrogantly talk with the customer. කිව්වොත් අනිත් පැත්තටමයි කියන්නේ. Or maybe you don't know how to talk to customer. Now you look at it what? Whether that person is having required qualification or specification to perform that job. So through the job analysis, therefore we look at it both aspects. And then you decide what? Job description and job specification. Right? By watching all these things. So these are the job you need to carry out. Your responsibilities, your reporting relationship, your working condition, to whom you are going to report, all things will spell out in your job description. And also we look at it. In order to perform your job efficiently and effectively, what are the requirements you need to have? Education, professional, experience, all matters. That is called the job specification. So therefore, what are the two output of job analysis? Job description and job specification. Now today's Sunday paper. You go home and see one advertisement. Right? Paper advertisement. What you can see in the paper advertisement? Job advertisement. You will show job description and job specification. What are the areas? What are the things you need to do? Right? What are the requirements? A-level, bank, experience, or if you are in the teller or relationship or international division or whatever. Experience, qualification, profession. That's it. Why you are following banking. Improve your professional knowledge. That is, you need to perform your job. Right? Clear? So what is job description? It's a descriptive statement that generally include duties, purposes, responsibilities, where your working condition, all these things. Now, are you aware? It is a legal document, right? Earlier they had issues. Now, ඔක්කොම කියලා ඉවර වෙලා ඔක්කොම ජොබ් එක ඉවර කියලා ඉවර වෙලා තව එකක් දානවා අන්තිමට. මොකක්ද දාන්නේ? ඉහෙත් ඒවට අමතරව තමුන්ගේ විෂයපතේ යටතේ කළමනාකරු සහ කළමනාකාරීත්වයෙන් විසින් සැරෙන් සැරේ ඔබට නියම කරනු ලබන හැම කාර්යයක්ම මොලා. More job description is a legal document. If something is not there, you was asked to do, you can refuse, and you can, if they sack you, you can take a legal action against that. And make a walakanda the job description meet amateur any work, but amateur okay, anyway. Like what is someone the anikut power and oda vada yella dano. Api asankarla gan. Right? Now, according to the central bank, remember, each and every employee, specifically about the executive level and above, right? You need to provide the job description. When the central bank officers for visits, site visits, they sometimes go to HR department and ask, what are the job description of so and so? They will cross-check whether you are having a job description. Okay, right. I think that's why it's a legal document, and so you need to compliance, right? All these duties you are entrusted by the management. So usually what are the things in contents in the job description? Your job title, overall purpose of the job, your grade, salary scale, remember? Who is you are going to report? How many people works under you, right? Duty, responsibility, how to assess your criteria, how to assess your performance. So usually consists of a job description, right? Remember. Then the job specification. Now I told you, job specification is requirement to perform your job. It should be educational qualification, professional qualification, experience, whatever. Right? Okay, so therefore, job analysis have two important components. One is job description and job specification. Right? Where, of course, under job specification, you are having qualification, prior experience, special training, you got it, or some personality factors. Now, with undergo udaharanayak වශයෙන් බැංකුවක security card කෙනෙක් කියනවා. ඉතින් ඒ වගේ අයට උස මහතත් බලන්න එපා. right? ඒක බලන්න. එතකොට බලන්නේ body paint එක. පපුව කීයද? Policy ගියා. Some of the physical characteristics, other qualities. Some people are, a sales guy. So they look at it, their capabilities of communicating, interpersonal skills. They look at it. Okay, right. So these are job specification. Right. Clear? Right. I it was a very but right? Okay. Now I want to tell you, right? Are you having the second one with you? Right? Are you having the second tute with you? I have emailed to you, right? Please tell. So are you having the second tute with you now?
Yes, sir.
Right. So we can go in, no? So I thought I just completed a little faster, but you can refer the notes, no? Right? Okay. You can refer that notes, no? Okay, before that, what is the difference between, the examiner can ask from you, what is the difference between job description and job specification? Can you write something if the examiner asks from you? Compare, or what are the differences between job description and job specification? Right. I'll give you 2 minutes. I'll give you 2 minutes to you. Right? So therefore, please write the answer if the examiner asks you, what are the job descriptions and job specification? Okay, right. What are you going to write under job description? So definition. So job description explains what? Tasks, duties, responsibilities, working condition, and other aspects of a specified job. Right? What are you going to put under job specification? Specific qualifications an individual must have to do that job efficiently and effectively. What are things? Explain about experiences, qualifications, and things like that. That's the first one. What is the second one? Job descriptions. describe the job. Describe the job. Whereas job specification, what is discussing? Right? Person ideally needed to perform that job. Now, their job descriptions talk about the job, whereas the specifications talk about the person. And they, of course, talk about the job description, talk about the job characteristics, whereas job specifications talk about the human characteristics. Okay? Hi? Okay. Simple. Examiner can ask from you. Right, but both job descriptions and job specifications are a product of what? Can anybody tell me? Product of what? Huh?
Job analysis.
Job analysis. Very good. Right. What do you feel? It is interesting to learn HR? Have you learned something about the HR? Okay? Kalinga, what do you think? Okay? Sitara? Right? Sitara, okay? Right? Dulakshi? How is it?
Yes, sir. Okay.
Right. Then Farhan? Farhan, okay? Imandi? Imandi
Yes,
usually
sir.
come for.
Yes, sir. Okay.
I can remember you. Your name is always there. I can remember your name. Then Pahitra, what is that? Pavitra, no? Pahitra, oh, I don't know. Right? Difficult to pronounce, right? Samudita?
Yeah, okay,
Samudita,
sir.
you're okay. Right. Right. Okay. So now, I think you have an idea. So since I have some more times, if I'm going to put it again to the second slide, it will take some time. So since you have the tute with you, I will explain, right? But don't worry, right? Not much. So now, what is the next function? Now, up to now, how many functions we have decided? We have discussed under HR. We discussed job design. Then we discussed job analysis. Then we discussed job analysis sub parts, right? Sub parts are what? Job analysis. Sub parts are, or byproducts are job descriptions and job specification. Okay. Now we are going to discuss human resource planning, manpower planning, or sometimes different people are talking about this. Human resource plan. Why you need to plan your human resources? Why? You know, in your organization, some people are retiring, right? But yes, some people are leave your organization and join another organization. Some people are going abroad. Some people are terminated, right? But yes, some people are promoted. So therefore, you need to feel, okay, you open new branches. So therefore, you need to plan your resources. You look at it, your retirement list. Okay, how many, suppose your retirement age is 55. Next year, how many people are going to retire? Now you have to plan it. Right? Now itself you have to plan it. So that is what you call human resource planning. So therefore, HRP is the process of determining the future employee needs. And not only that, while determining how many people you need, so you need to come up with some strategies how we are going to fulfill these needs. So that is, we call them as what? Human resource planning. Okay, understood? Right, you need to find out people for tomorrow. So how are we going to fill all these vacancies or jobs, right? For that, so we must have a HR planning. What is the importance of HR planning? What are the importance? Now, first, as I explained to you, to determine the future employee needs. And sometimes we feel it, okay, we don't want more people. We try to use with the existing staff. So our HR is not used efficiently and effectively. So we want to reduce the staff, and you use efficiently and effectively, you can have a planning take into account. As we said, to employ cost. If you want recruit me in what? You save a lot of money. Ask existing people to do the job. Thereby, you can reduce your cost, employee cost. And also it is a duty of to promote these talent people. Why? Otherwise these people are frustrated and they may leave the organization. So you need to develop high talent employees. And also, as I explained to you at the very beginning, it facilitates to achieve your strategic plan. Right? So manpower planning or HR planning, what are the objectives? Right? So one objective is to require sufficient and suitable staff for your organization, retention in the organization, optimal performances, right? Those are little straightforward things, right? Now let me look at it. What is the process? How are we going to plan it? How are we going to plan it? It's like this. First, you must focus future demand for HR. Future demand for HR. How can you forecast the future demand? First step is in HRP process, that means human resource planning process. Identify or forecast future demand of human resources. Number needed. What are the factors affecting future demand? One thing I have already talked to you. What? Resignations, death, retirement, promotions, migration, right? Or maybe sometimes external factors also. COVID-19 also come now into the scene, right? Suppose you're going to open new branches, or you may improve your businesses, right? Based on your corporate strategy, you want to improve your credit card businesses. So you need to get more people for that. So these are the future demand factors, how we are going to estimate it. What is the first step? Forecast future demand. Now what is the next one? Next one you will see HR supply. How many of us there are now? So all HR department must have all the records, right? Data about your current employees, right? Okay, so look at it the supply side. How many people you want? So that is what you call the auditing of current HR. Auditing. What are the qualifications? What grades? All HR department is having. Now think. Now, Fadi, the first step, demand, then supply. Okay, we need 10 people. We have 20 people. Or we have 30 people required, but we have only 20 people. Now, what is that? Then there is a gap. Now, how we are going to fill this gap? What option on a bank is having to fill this gap? 30 demand, 30 need, but you have only 20. Now, how are you going to fill in this gap? Something. Okay, one thing is, you was requested existing people to do the overtime. Or maybe you may subcontract, right? You may hire part-time employees. Then internship, right? Internship, a very important thing for bank. Intern everything just after A level. රුපියල් 10,000 5000 දුන්නා ලොකු ගාණක් නේ. ඒකට කියන මම හරි බැංකුවේ වැඩ. So for you is okay, comfortable. ඉතින් ගියාම මොරෝල වැඩ කරනවා. ඉතින් PN වගේ තමයි සමහර වෙලාවට නේද? photocopy ගන්නවා අර එක ගේනවා. But smart people, while they are doing, they learn also. Right? So this is how banks are doing. Because once you take the intern, right? අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම යනවනේ. එක පැත්තකින් යනවා. හොඳ වුණා තියාගන්න පුළුවන්. Right? That's also cheap labor. අඩු ගන්නට වැඩේ කරගන්න පුළුවන්. Knowledgeable also, you know, after A level, and you are very much energetic. නිවාඩු ගන්න. බරි කියලා වැඩ කරනවා. ඒත් ඕන වැඩක් කරනවා. photocopy එකක් ගන්නවා. Okay? So you see how sometimes HR is managing the cost. Or maybe take 6 month contracts. Or maybe outsource. So they're not going to take home. The bank, especially for those securities and then janitorial works, you know, the grade 7s, call centers, right? Or they are outsources. They won't take into the cadre. This is how they address this short-term requirement, right? Suppose now demand is more than demand, we have a supply, excess stuff. Then what you're going to do, right? So stop OT, right? Stop hiring new employees. Some people are asked to go, give a golden package, yonder IBO, right? Okay? So they take some actions. සමහර private ඒවා යන්න කියලා මොව යන්න විදියට වැඩ කරනවා. අර හාමුදුරුවෝ කලේ දන්නවනේ the story. බැත්තෑවේ හාමුදුරුවෝ story, are you aware on that? තොටගමුවේ රාහුල හාමුදුරුවෝ, right? දන්නවද the story එක? මොනවද ඇරි? Are you aware on that?
පලනොකිය පරාවද?
Very good, colleague. You know, no? මොකද කලේ බැත්තෑවේ හාමුදුරුවෝ රාහුල හාමුදුරුවෝ වැඩකාරයානේ. බැත්තෑවේ හාමුදුරුවෝට චර්දනයක් වුණා. ඒ පාර දැන් බැත්තෑවේ හාමුදුරුවන්ට කියන්න ඕන කියලා තිබ්බ රාහුල හාමුදුරුවෝ තොටගමුවේ මේ පන්සලේ ඉන්න එපා කොහේ හරි යන්න කියලා. ඒක කටින් කියන්නේ නැතුව අපි කියනවා පළ නොකිය පලා බෙදුවා කියලා. එකපාර බැත්තෑ හාමුදුරුවෝ මොකද කළේ? දානේ වඩදිනකොට රාහුල හාමුදුරුවන්ට වෙන මුකුත් දාන්න නැතුව පලා වර්ග 3ක් කෑමිගේ 3 තැනක තියලා දුන්නා. රාහුල හාමුදුරුවෝ බැලුවා මොකද්ද මේකේ කියන්නේ කියලා. මොකද්ද කියන්නේ? පලා right? පලා වර්ග 3ක් දැම්මා. තොටගම හාමුදුරුවෝ මේන් කළා ටක් ගාලා මැසේජ් එක ගත්තා. ඩිකෝඩ් කරගත්තා. මොකද්ද? පල. එහිද තමයි අපි කියන්නේ පල නොකිය පලා බෙදුවා කියලා. Right? So sometimes the banks also do things like that. Make it you uncomfortable. Right? But sometimes banks can do. Right? So that is why you are get rid of the existed people. right? Okay, sometimes we give you a golden shake can. Compensation එකක් දෙනවා යනවනම් පඩි ගෙවලා ගෙදර යවනවා. Lot of organizations have done, right? Okay, so this is how you manage your excess and shortage, right? Now, what is our steps is what? Identify the demand, and then identify the supply, and then you look at it, the gap analysis, and you take appropriate strategies. Okay, otherwise, suppose if you don't have internal people to promote, then what you're doing? Then you're going for external, finding people to the job. And that is why they advertise positions in the newspapers or internet or web-based or whatever. Totally new people to get into the businesses or to the organization. Right? So reason for creating a HR plan, therefore, is a plan for recruitment, right? And avoiding sudden shortage faced by the bank, right? And sometimes to adapt more quickly to ever-changing circumstances, right? So that is why we need to have creating a plan, right? Okay. So what is the alternative strategy, as I explained to you, is maybe if you have a shortage of people and you're going to external recruitment. First, you try to fulfill that job internally. If not, you're going for a external recruitment. Right. Then in the bank, another important plan is what you call a succession plan. Now, preparation of a succession plan is a compulsory thing. It's a compulsory thing as far as the banks are concerned. So every bank must have a succession plan according to the regulator's requirement. Now, usually the succession plan is usually prepared for not for the ground level staff. It's usually for what level? Little upper grades. Right. Kalinga, which bank you are? Kalinga? Sampan. Okay, good. Good question. Now, I don't think nobody is listening to that, right? Kalinga, who is your next GM? My goodness, bro.
GM or the MD, Managing Director.
Okay, we take MD.
Ayodhya.
Not
One
sure,
like
no?
Ayodhya.
Shashi? No.
No. Now it's a new person.
Who?
Ayodhya or something.
Not Shashi.
No.
Not Ranwala, but two senior DGMs, no.
Yeah, but they have decided in the previous something in the board meeting that it should be Ayodhya Iddhar madam.
He's from the bank.
Same bank. Yeah.
Right. So he's not a senior DGM, no.
That's the issue.
Right. Okay. I don't know. I know. I thought of Shashi or Rangwala. Both are senior DGMs. So right. Okay. Forget about. Now you see. Now succession plan. At least now you know who is going to come. Otherwise, what happened? If the board is not decided who is going to be after the your present chair's MD, right? Who is that person? I mean, Mr.
Nanda
Fernando, right? After Mr. Nanda Fernando, so there's a big fight, no? Right. So it's a very sensitive. Now you see how sensitive the preparations of a succession plan. Especially, this is okay for private bank, but think about the government bank, state bank. Now, who is the next guy for Bank of Ceylon? Whether it's a Russell, anybody from BOC? Now, Mr. Somati now, We're supposed to have the Russell or Sumiti Russell. We don't know, but they are not declared yet, no. But bank like commercial, I can remember, they are well ahead. They have said who is going to be next GM or next MD or CEO, right? Why? Because it is important. Now, what is succession plan? A process for identifying and developing. And Carling, it was communicated, or you just got some informal source, so board has declared that.
No, I think they sent through an email.
I said
They
so.
just informed
Okay.
after 2023.
All right, no problem. That is okay. But at least that is succession plan. Now that is what happened to Sri Lanka and all sort of politics. Now who is going to be now? That was happened now for why? I don't want to talk on this in being famous. Certain parties collapse, not having a proper succession plan. Right? All things happen because of that. So that is why central bank request all the bank, because if the top guy is gone, then be a fight for that post, then all the problem will create internally. Right now, you will know who is going to come, and others will support him. Otherwise, he can resign and go. Like one done from one guy from NTB, he not got it, he moved it to another bank. Right? So likewise, so you must have a succession plan. But remember, it's a very sensitive plan to be prepared. Right? So what is the importance? What is succession planning then? It is a process of identifying and developing internal people with the potential to fill key leadership positions in the company. When you're selecting succession, there has to be very, very careful not to hurt others. It should be a transparent manner. He must possess all sort of required talent, qualifications, and do. Then everybody is accepted, but whatever said and done. So a succession plan play an important role. Now, today's succession plan therefore become very important leadership process, and a growing number of firms have formal plan in place. And remember, it is mandatory. Right? Okay. So before you wind it up, what is labor turnover? That's the questions I've given you. Now, what is labor turnover? Right? I'm just going little, this is the final area, right? What is labor turnover? The labor turnover means the number of employees who are leaving the organization in a particular given period of time. Right? Labor turnover means number of people, number of employees leaving the organization in a given period of time. Now, you may heard about some banks in Sri Lanka. The turnover is very high. I don't mention the names of the banks. Some of you are maybe working in that bank. So, labor turnover is very high in that particular bank due to various reasons. Right? It's not good for that bank. Right? So, labor turnover means people who are leaving the organization in a given period of time. Now, what are the reasons for people to go? Because for looking for more prospects, higher salary, higher job security, so more opportunity to develop the skills there. Very difficult to get the promotion in existing structure or existing bank, or maybe due to some harassment, bullying or sexual harassment, maybe, right? Or maybe personal reason due to pregnancy, illness, and husband was transferred from one place to another place, right? Then better to go with him rather than staying here, right? Losing the job or losing the bank. So we have to select. So there are many reasons why people are leaving the organization. Usually for a certain type of categories, Bank sometimes it carried out what you call exit interviews. Exit interviews. අපි කියනවා යන්නේ එක කොරහත් කොරහත් බින්දගෙන යන නිසා කියනේව ටික ඔක්කොම කියලා තමයි යන්නේ. So exit interview is ideal. So he tells you why you're going. ඉන්නකොට කියන්න බෑනේ. ඒ නිසා යනකොට ඔක්කොම කියලා අරුත් එක්ක ඉන්න බෑ අරු මේමයි අරු මේමයි මට ඉන්න දෙන්න like that. So exit interview. So exit interview information give a lot of information for organization to rectify some of the weaknesses they are doing to rectify. Right? So therefore, labor turnover is a good control mechanism. Okay? Right? Clear? Right. So what we have learned today, so we have learned a lot of things in HR. Okay? So I added something that is what you call the human resource management. Okay. Have you understood about human resource management up to now? You don't think it's very interesting also? Right? Now you see, at the beginning, I can remember I told you, clients management is a mixed fruit. Right? Now you see why it is mixed fruit. You have everything. Operations, survey, financing, HR, marketing, everything you have. Okay? Right. So, okay. So we are going to wind it up today. We have 2-3 minutes more. Right? Okay. So have you understood everything about what we have discussed on HR today? Right? Satmi? Okay. Satmi, තේරුණාද ඔක්කොම? Satmi? තේරුණාද පුතා?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Right. Then තව කවුද? Taranga? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Right. Then Imandi? Right?
Yes, sir.
Right. Malindi? Udina neda? Aaron neda? Malindi, no? Right? So we are come to an end of our lecture series also, right? Now that is why I call you. And Manti, no? Manti or Manti? Hendavitarana? Manti, you're okay? Right? Then who? Sean, I usually, Sean, I can remember the names here. Right. Okay. So, Kaumini also regular students who are attending, right? Kaumini, no? You are there, Kaumini? Achala is there. Devumi, Dulakshi, yes. Farhan, Mustafa. Right, okay. Thank you very much. So we will continue where we have left today. And we'll continue with the balance HR. And I hope we may can wind up our series during this month. I hopefully, right? Okay, right. Then we'll see you on next Sunday at 1 o'clock. So today you are enough because today is a very bad day. From morning, I have a lot of disturbances. Power is going, coming. I thought I'm not in a position to continue, but then I have changed my entire methodology. I use the hotspot. I changed the computer, everything. I'll be ready for you to deliver interrupted sessions, but fortunately, and there is no power cut. Okay, right. Okay, so we'll catch you on next Sunday.